Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Hubar begins now.
There is concern more businesses across Tasmania will suffer if the Spirit saga isn't sorted soon. Labor calling for TT Line to lock in more day sailing trips on existing ships in an effort to bring more tourists into the state over summer.
I think adding capacity is the most important thing. Adding capacity on the Spirits and by air is the most important thing we can do. It means it supports caravan park operators, cafes, bars.
We'll be encouraging TT Line to ensure that if there is the demand, if it is worthwhile, that we have those extra sailings.
It follows confirmation that the 2 new vessels might not arrive for 2 years with a lack of port infrastructure in Devonport. Holidays in New Zealand are back on the cards for jet-setters, with direct flights from Auckland returning to the Apple Isle. The international service is set to be a major boost to Tasmania's economy and tourism sector.
Tunes and a sweet treat for touchdown. The Transport Minister welcoming passengers from New Zealand.
We offer you a block of chocolate and welcome.
Air New Zealand on Tasmanian soils today, marking the return of the direct international flight between Hobart and Auckland.
To get the international service back, it's a real show of confidence in Tasmanian tourism by Air New Zealand especially.
This is going to be a great celebration for our state, a real boost for our tourism sector.
The airline operating 3 weekly flights to Hobart on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays over the peak 5-month summer season.
These seats will be 24,000 additional seats across the summer season.
Hobart Airport describing the service as a ticket to the world, with connections to more than a dozen domestic Kiwi ports and gateways to North America, Asia and the Pacific Islands.
People like to use these flights to go to New Zealand or to fly through to Auckland and then directly to North America as well.
The return flight also a major boost to visitor numbers, helping to keep our tourism and hospitality sector strong.
Increased capacity over the summer months is really important. We've got our summer events happening, we've got so many great things happening on the water and on the land.
Rebecca Gadanieris, 7 Tasmania News.
For just the second time in the event's 40-year history, a Tasmanian man has taken out the Burnie 10. The milestone achievement set amongst a record field, seeing some of the country's best and legends of the race take to the course.
3, 2, More than 2,600 runners racing off for the 40th Burnie 10.
Yeah, our numbers are up 400 more than last year, 700 than the year before, so wonderful progression.
Leading the pack at the turn, Sam Clifford was out to add his name to an elite group, powering across the finishing line with a celebration to match. In a time of 28 minutes and 17 seconds, he becomes just the second Tasmanian man to take the crown. The only other to do it, Stuart McSwain.
I made the most of it. I made sure the crowd got their money's worth and really enjoyed it. I did this for the city of Burnie, did this for the state of Tasmania. I'm just so proud.
After missing last year due to injury, Leanne Pompiani pulled off the ultimate comeback, breaking a 25-year-old course record with a time of 31 minutes and 40 seconds.
It means a lot, and I knew I'm finally finding form again after a pretty rough year last year. So yeah, to come out and just hit it hard feels really good.
Away from the front runners, a wide mix of competitors taking on the challenge. Some dressing up for the occasion, others taking a more relaxed approach. And the next generation of track stars giving the famous race their all.
It's so unique to start and finish in the CBD of a regional city like Burnie. It's an iconic event.
And throughout the pack, 4 dedicated athletes who haven't missed a race since 1985.
I'm obviously not as quick as what I used to be. Such a good event. I like the fact that you got the best runners in Australia here, and it's a community event.
He's already backing himself in for another decade in the mix. Victoria Risto, 7 Tasmania News.
The state government has been accused of dragging its feet when it comes to passing a reform which would allow renters to have pets permanently at their property. The bill was tabled in June but is yet to be debated.
There is now further consultation taking place with stakeholders, as you would expect with a major reform of this nature.
But the Greens say they're prepared to introduce their own rental bill if progress isn't made soon. Tactical police have joined more than 200 other first responders for a training drill on board the Spirit of Tasmania. They were called to respond to a scenario involving a mass stabbing attack to test their skills under the most extreme pressure. In the fake scenario, 2 offenders had stabbed passengers as the ship was crossing Bass Strait, with reinforcements called to attend from Melbourne. For the first time in more than a decade, Tasmania is preparing to open the doors to a brand new public primary school. 7 Tasmania News has been given an exclusive first look at the campus before class is officially in session.
It's not a school without the students, and these 4 are the first to change that, given an early sneak peek at Legana Primary.
The best bit is being able to have children here and seeing the absolute sheer delight as they run around and they explore.
The young learners digging in.
Now we need to wait.
Taking one for their future classmates, testing out the playground and giving it their tick of approval.
Playing on the playground, the trampoline and the turtle and the swing.
They're among close to 100 others who'll don the new uniform from next year as more local families prepare to make the switch.
We moved to Legana 3 years ago and we've been travelling to Exeter backwards and forwards. It's just so exciting to start in a new environment, new school.
It will build every year and I don't think it'll be long before that we've reached that 350.
It's the first new Tasmanian school in over a decade, marking a major milestone for the fast-growing West Hamer community.
They just cannot believe that this is going to be their brand new school. Everything about this school has been really thoughtfully designed. We have got state-of-the-art facilities here.
And the educators who've helped shape it from the ground up.
It's once in a lifetime. And working with our staff and students and families to build an identity and our culture that's connected to the community.
The finishing touches we put on the school over the coming months, with the furniture and the stationery arriving soon before the teachers head into the classroom, ready to welcome the first lot of students just in time for the start of Term 1. Victoria Risto, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania's peony season is in full bloom. One producer forced to launch a website to keep up with soaring demand. The flowers ever-changing over the next 8 weeks with bunches of colours and varieties.
Picking and growing the perfect peony outside is serious business.
We've had rain at the right time. We've had a nice burst of sunshine here and there. The wind we could have done without, but that's Tasmania.
Western Farm have around 10,000 plants in the ground in the midst of the 8-week peony season. As the days go by, different variations of the bloom emerge.
We start with our corals, our red charm, our buckeye bells. They're the darker colours. Then as the season progresses, you go into your whites and your pinks.
But it's quite the mission to get them in a bouquet form. Owners Richard and Belinda picking ready bunches before transporting them to the cool room. The catch, they can't be replanted in the same soil for 4 years.
Not over picking. You know, it's one of those plants that if you've got 50 blooms, you take 35, leave the rest to put that goodness back into the plant for next year.
While peony season runs for 2 months, they're in such high demand, especially for weddings. The flowers can often sell out well before then. The blooms so sought after, Western Farm launched a website to help manage orders.
They're a premium product, so they've got to be sold at a premium price.
Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
The JackJumpers are back to their grit and grind after taking out the Brisbane Bullets by 8 points last night. The thrilling victory, their third for the season, much needed for the Ant Army after a lacklustre start.
Taking to the court, attempting to snap a 3-game losing streak. The JackJumpers setting the tone early, getting the first buckets, with a few strong finishes at the rim from Will Magnay helping Tasmania gain momentum.
Now they go to Magnay, that's a good set. See that set? Beautiful action.
Majuk then extending the scoring burst with a three-pointer, racing to a 13-1 lead.
Majuk, Dang knocks it down. I love an aggressive Majuk Dang.
A weak offensive line from the Bullets saw them fall behind by 11 points at quarter time.
White can get it moving. He gave up the pass.
Jordan Crawford building on the Jackies' stellar start to the first quarter, notching up more points only minutes into the second term.
Here's Crawford, just got the 2 points, make that 4.
Brisbane managed to claw back slightly, getting back-to-back buckets.
Bairstow, wide open. Now they can start to generate something.
The Bullets continued firing back, point guard Mitch Norton helping to close in on the gap and reclaim their spot in the contest after a scratchy first half.
Harrison, and then goes the other way and helps himself to another 2.
And reclaim they did, going into the final term 3 points ahead of the JackJumpers, as well as holding them off for most of the quarter. But some late game shooting proved crucial for the Jackies as they locked down the Bullets and showed their champion spirit in a thrilling comeback, winning 84-79.
And Tassie have found a way to win their first game on the road.
The Ant Army will be looking to build on the victory when they host the South East Melbourne Phoenix on Friday. Rebecca Gadineris, 7 Tasmania News.
Good evening. 21 across Hobart and Launceston today, Devonport and Burnie 17. 23 was the state's top at Bushy Park, Flinders Island and St Helens 22 and a high of 20 in Cressy. Patchy low-level cloud was seen over most of Tasmania today, with a high cloud band moving from the west to the east of the state. Further out, extensive thunderstorms are seen embedded in a mid to high level cloud band from the Kimberley and extending into Queensland. Tomorrow, showers are seen about the west and far south, contracting to the west in the afternoon, mostly fine conditions elsewhere. West to southwesterly winds tomorrow 20 to 30 knots, reaching up to 35 knots about the southeast. Swells up to 5 metres in the west and south and below 1 metre in the north. A gale warning is current for the lower east coast and southeast coast. A strong wind warning from the far northwest coast right around to Flinders Island. And a warning to sheep graziers is also current for the upper Derwent Valley and southeast forecast districts. Tomorrow's forecast now: Hobart, partly cloudy, a shower or 2 in Dover, ooze 15. In the north, 20 in Launceston, Devonport, mostly sunny, Scottsdale 18. Burnie tomorrow 16, a shower or 2 in Strawn, Stanley 17. Partly cloudy across St Helens and Swansea and 16 in Ross. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast now: Tuesday, showers about the west, fine elsewhere. Wednesday, showers across the west and far south. And Thursday, showers statewide during the afternoon with snow falling to 900 metres in the evening. 32 and sunny in Perth tomorrow. Adelaide, cloud clearing and 17 in Melbourne. And currently Hobart 16, mostly cloudy, Launceston 17, mostly sunny and Devonport 16. And that's all in Sunday night's weather, Lou.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Jackie. That's all your news for this Sunday evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Kim will be with you tomorrow. Have a lovely evening. Good night.